Salmon is one of the rare aquatic species with high economic value and is focused on exploitation as well as farming and processing by many countries. Wild salmon fishing mainly takes place in cold seas in the North Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, where schools of salmon migrate from the ocean to freshwater rivers to spawn. Fishermen often grasp this migration rule to organize fishing activities. They use many different methods such as purse seine, gill net, fixed trap or fishing, of which the most popular are purse seine and gill net because they can catch a large number of fish in a short time. When the migration season comes, schools of salmon move densely, creating conditions for fishermen to cast nets around them, then pull the nets onto the boat, sort and put the fish in cold storage for fresh preservation on the spot. In some cases, salmon are also caught by hand with spears or fishing in river rapids when they jump over obstacles to spawn upstream. This is a traditional fishing method that has existed for hundreds of years in many countries such as Norway. Russia, Canada or Japan. After being caught, salmon must be processed quickly to maintain the quality of the meat. On modern fishing boats, the fish are humanely killed, then gutted, the organs removed and washed with cold seawater. Some large boats are also equipped with a super-fast freezing system so that the fish can reach a deep frozen state immediately after preliminary processing, helping to maintain maximum freshness and nutrients. When salmon is brought to shore, it will undergo industrial processing. People classify the fish by size and quality and then transfer them to the factory. Here, the fish are processed for many different purposes: to keep fresh, to freeze, to fillet, to smoke, to can or to make sashimi. The filleting stage requires high technique to cut off bones and skin precisely without crushing the fish meat. Salmon fillets are often divided into different levels, from the type used for high-end sashimi to the type used in prepared dishes. With smoked salmon, the fish meat after filleting is salted, seasoned, then put into a smoking chamber with oak or apple wood, helping to create a characteristic aroma and prolong the preservation time. In addition, salmon eggs are also a high-end product, exploited and processed into famous caviar, with very high commercial value. Modern processing plants use vacuum packaging, freezing or sterilization technology to keep the product for a long time while still ensuring the flavor. Some salmon are also processed into canned food, paste or ingredients for functional foods rich in omega-3. In countries with a developed salmon industry, processing not only focuses on meat but also takes advantage of byproducts such as heads, bones, skin to produce fish oil, fish meal or collagen for the food and cosmetics industry. Thanks to scientific fishing and advanced processing technology, salmon has become an important commodity in international trade, meeting the huge consumption demand of the global market. While contributing to maintaining a sustainable value chain from fishing grounds to dining tables to ensure optimal quality throughout the fishing and processing process. Fishermen and factories must strictly adhere to cold storage procedures. When the fish are just brought out of the water, the salmon's body temperature is still high. If not cooled quickly, bacteria will grow, causing spoilage and reducing commercial value. Therefore, on board ships, there are often holds filled with ice or seawater cooling systems to cool the fish immediately. Many modern industrial fishing vessels also use circulating seawater cooling technology, helping the fish to stay fresh for many days before docking. In the next stage, transportation from the port to the factory also requires a specialized refrigerated vehicle system, maintaining a stable temperature of -2 to 0 degrees Celsius for fresh fish, or below -18 degrees Celsius for frozen fish. When the salmon arrives at the factory, the processing process is carried out in a strictly hygienically controlled environment. Workers wear protective clothing, use sharp specialized knives to fillet, remove small bones with tweezers and wash with cold water. The trays of fillets are then divided according to quality standards. Type A is used for sashimi or export. Type B is used for smoking or canning. Type C is used for industrial processing. Some fatty parts of the salmon belly are kept separately for sushi production or high-end grilled dishes. When taken out, the salmon eggs are washed, sorted, then salted in cold conditions to maintain the characteristic iridescent orange color, then sealed in glass jars or tin cans. In addition, the collagen-rich salmon skin is also used to produce food supplements or cosmetics. The fish heads and bones are cooked into concentrated broth, or dried to make fish meal to provide protein for the livestock industry. Thanks to optimization in exploitation and processing, almost no part of the salmon is wasted. In global trade, salmon is transported all over the world by air or refrigerated containers. Major supermarkets in Europe, Asia, and the US all have imported fresh salmon counters, so consumers can enjoy salmon all year round. Some countries such as Japan especially favor raw salmon for sashimi and sushi, while European countries prefer smoked salmon fillets served with bread, salad, or wine. Canned salmon is popular in North America because of its convenience and affordable price. It is the diversity in processing methods that has helped salmon become a global food source, contributing to the formation of a billion-dollar industry, bringing economic benefits to many countries and meeting the increasing nutritional needs of people in addition to wild fishing. The salmon industry is also associated with large-scale farming, because the natural salmon source is not enough to meet market demand. These farms are often built in bays, cold, clear waters, where there is a high flow and oxygen content. Salmon are raised in giant floating net cages offshore or in modern recirculating tank systems on land. The farming process begins with salmon eggs being hatched in specialized facilities. Then the fry are raised in freshwater for several months before being transferred to a saltwater environment. Thanks to nutrition control technology, healthcare and disease prevention, farmed salmon can reach a commercial weight of 3 to 6 kilograms within 2 to 3 years. After reaching standard size, farmed salmon will be harvested by netting, anesthetized to prevent stress, then slaughtered and processed similarly to wild salmon, ensuring meat quality. Farmed salmon meat often has a stable color and flavor, suitable for industrial processing, while wild salmon is more appreciated for its firmness and characteristic flavor. After harvesting, salmon from farming or catching are put into modern processing lines. Here, automatic machines support the filleting, deboning, cutting and packaging stages. Many facilities also apply MAP, modified atmosphere packaging, technology to maintain freshness without using many preservatives. Diverse salmon products are created from this process: fresh whole salmon, frozen fillets, smoked salmon, tray-packed sashimi, ready-to-cook marinated salmon, to convenient canned salmon. In addition, cold-pressed salmon oil rich in omega-3 is also a popular product on the market. Present in nutritional supplement capsules. A portion of the byproducts are processed into pet food or pharmaceutical ingredients. The salmon value chain today does not stop at catching and processing, but also includes research, breed development, conservation of aquatic resources and national branding. Countries such as Norway, Chile, Canada, Russia and Japan have formed a comprehensive salmon industry, both meeting domestic demand and exporting around the world. Salmon has thus become a symbol of the harmonious combination of wild fishing tradition, modern farming technology and sophisticated processing techniques, turning a fish species endemic to cold water regions into a popular global dish. Contributing to enriching the culinary and improving people's nutritional life, the strong development of the salmon industry also entails many environmental, economic and cultural aspects. Environmentally, wild salmon fishing is strictly controlled by countries with quotas, seasons and regulated fishing gear. To protect fish populations and ensure natural regeneration, many large rivers have supporting structures such as fish ladders or channels, helping salmon pass hydroelectric dams to continue their spawning journey. For industrial farming, international standards such as ASC, Aquaculture Stewardship Council, or Global GAP, are applied to manage water quality, limit pollution, use sustainable feed and ensure animal welfare. Consumers are increasingly concerned about the origin of products, so certified sustainable salmon always has a higher value in the market. Economically, salmon brings in billions of dollars in revenue each year for major exporting countries such as Norway or Chile, while creating jobs for hundreds of thousands of workers, from fishermen, processing workers, aquaculture engineers to logistics and retail systems. Coastal areas where salmon farming is carried out often thrive, becoming economic and tourism centers, where visitors can experience the farming process and enjoy local specialties. In terms of culinary culture, salmon has long been present in the lives of many ethnic groups. The Japanese consider salmon an indispensable ingredient for sushi and sashimi. Northern Europeans prefer salted or smoked salmon served with black bread and cold beer. In North America, grilled, pan-fried or canned salmon are very popular. Even in Vietnam, imported salmon and salmon farmed in SA have become luxury dishes in restaurants and hotels, thanks to its rich flavor. Firm meat, rich in omega-3. Protein and vitamin D. Salmon is known as the red gold of the ocean. The salmon processing chain does not stop at fresh food but also extends to the fields of medicine, beauty and healthcare. Salmon oil rich in omega-3 helps prevent cardiovascular disease and improve memory. Collagen from salmon skin and bones is used in anti-aging cosmetics. Even enzymes and proteins from salmon are researched to produce pharmaceuticals. All of that shows that from the stage of catching in the ocean to processing in the factory, salmon has become a symbol of the connection between nature, technology and human life. both carrying huge economic value and contributing to improving the quality of life globally. It is undeniable that the journey from catching to processing salmon is a complex chain of activities, requiring the smooth coordination of many different stages. Fishermen, processors, aquaculture experts, scientists, distributors and the international transport system all play a key role in getting salmon to consumers in the best possible condition. In countries with a developed salmon industry, governments often work with businesses and research institutes to develop sustainable strategies. They invest in cold storage technology, advanced processing technology and research into new salmon varieties that are disease-resistant, fast-growing and better adapted to climate change. These advances have helped to stabilize the salmon industry, reduce pressure on wild fish stocks and expand the global market. Another important aspect is food safety control. Salmon can be contaminated with parasites or bacteria if not handled properly. So processing plants always apply the HACCP, hazard analysis and critical control points, process to strictly monitor every step from receiving raw materials, filleting, packaging to transportation. Thanks to this, salmon when reaching consumers still retains its freshness, safety and rich nutrition. In addition to its economic value, salmon also has symbolic meaning in many cultures. In North America, salmon has been the source of life for many indigenous communities for thousands of years. They consider salmon a sacred species associated with the cycle of nature. In Europe, salmon was once considered a dish of the aristocracy, appearing only at luxurious parties. Today, salmon has become a familiar dish for all classes. From delicate slices of sashimi on Japanese banquet tables, golden brown grilled fillets on family dining tables, to pre-packaged salmon cans in popular supermarkets. The entire process from catching to processing salmon is a clear demonstration of human ability to exploit natural resources, develop farming technology, and create cuisine. It demonstrates the harmony between tradition and modernity, between nature and science, between economics and culture. Thanks to that, salmon is not only a nutritious food but also a bridge to help people connect more with the ocean, with the living environment and with the history of human development from a deeper perspective. The journey of catching and processing salmon also reflects the relationship between humans and nature in the modern era. Salmon are migratory fish known for their endurance, traveling thousands of kilometers from the ocean to rivers to spawn. Symbolizing the resilience and regenerative cycle of nature, people exploit salmon not only to satisfy their food needs, but also to maintain traditions, nurture cultures and boost the economy. However, the increase in global demand also poses environmental challenges. Overfishing, water pollution and climate change all affect wild salmon populations. Therefore, the modern salmon industry has had to move towards sustainability, combining high-tech farming with biological conservation measures. Research centers have bred farmed salmon strains that can adapt to a variety of climatic conditions, while still preserving the natural gene pool in reserves and national parks. In addition, transparency in product origin is increasingly emphasized. Consumers can track the journey of a salmon from the farm or the sea where it was caught. to the processing plant, the distributor, and finally the retail store. Traceability systems using QR codes or blockchain not only increase trust but also promote the development of a more transparent and safe salmon industry. Socially, salmon also contributes to connecting communities. Many salmon festivals are held annually in Canada, the US, Japan, or Norway, where people and tourists together witness the scene of salmon overcoming waterfalls. Participate in traditional fishing activities. Enjoy a variety of salmon dishes and honor the cultural heritage associated with this fish. This shows that salmon is not simply a food but also a cultural, economic and spiritual symbol. In general, the process of catching and processing salmon has opened up a comprehensive value chain, from resource exploitation, sustainable farming, modern processing, preservation and international transportation, to culinary enjoyment and cultural preservation. All blend into a long story about the attachment between humans and the ocean, demonstrating humanity's constant efforts to both enjoy the fruits of nature and find ways to maintain the balance so that future generations can still enjoy the special taste of salmon. Today, as the demand for salmon continues to increase sharply, many countries are investing in closed production models, combining farming, processing and distribution to reduce costs and increase value. Modern salmon farms are equipped with sensors to monitor water quality, automatic feeding systems, and fish health monitoring cameras, helping to manage fish stocks accurately and effectively. Nutritional research has also been promoted, replacing natural marine fish feed sources with industrial feeds rich in protein from plants or insects. To reduce pressure on marine exploitation and ensure sustainability, some advanced technologies also apply the recirculating aquaculture model, RAS, recirculating aquaculture system, in which water is filtered and reused continuously. Both saving money and reducing pollution. When salmon mature, harvesting is also organized. The fish are lightly anesthetized, then put into an automatic slaughter system, ensuring animal welfare and maintaining high meat quality. Processed salmon is exported around the world via modern trade routes. Refrigerated containers are strictly controlled in temperature, can transport salmon from northern Europe to Asia within a few days while still maintaining freshness. In particular, fresh salmon is even transported by air to serve high-end restaurants, where raw materials must meet sashimi standards. Thanks to its convenience in preservation and processing, salmon is present in all kinds of meals, from luxury restaurants to family kitchens. Dishes such as pan-fried salmon with lemon butter sauce, salmon sushi, honey-grilled salmon, smoked salmon salad or miso soup with salmon have all become familiar choices of many diners. In addition, salmon oil, omega-3 capsules, collagen from salmon skin have also entered daily life in the form of functional foods and cosmetics. Thus, salmon has gone beyond the role of a migratory fish in nature to become a global industry, where culinary sophistication, the power of science and technology and a sustainable vision for the future converge. From icy rivers where salmon swim upstream, to the dinner tables of millions of families around the world, the journey of catching and processing salmon is a living testament to the interaction between humans and the ocean, and a reminder of the responsibility to preserve natural resources for future generations from the actual development of the salmon industry. It can be seen that this is not only a valuable food source but also a comprehensive economic and social ecosystem. Countries that exploit and farm salmon have formed a closed supply chain,